Terror Dome. You should be heading home, cause you could bring all of your ninjas and the Technodrome. I rip right through your flesh and bone and mental capacity. Flood your mind with atrocities and copious tragedies. This dark Sabbath is a lesson in street. The whole church of the ghetto feel the words when I preach. Amen. Let the Lord say a prayer so they don't end up in front of someone banging their trigger. Living life like a war pig. Fuck the law, I'm getting mine. Let the others figure what the cost is. Purchasing the fortress on gorgeous acres enormous. Car park full of foreigners and women just waiting on us. We living the dream. Y'all living like hell is earthbound. We are not the same. You've been a lame since birth, pal. I don't feel sorry. I recommend they go dirt bound. Doggy dog world and you've been looking like Chuck Brown.
You're on mute. Try it again.
My bad. Well. Beautiful people, best damn nation. It is Wednesday, and you know what time it is. It is the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. I am your humble host, Brian Renegade, and with me, I have the best damn crew. First of all, if you see this man in a dark alley, run. He will beat you up and throw your ass in the trash can. He is the green-eyed bandit. He fights people. Sometimes he bites people. He's your mama's favorite wrestler, and he can whoop your daddy ass. The one and only Roosevelt, the fighter. What's happening, my brother?
Hey, I'm going to let y'all know real quick. Brian has been lying to y'all for the longest time.
I tell no lies, sir.
Listen. You've been telling these men to run. I know how to run. I run really, really, really fast. So don't run. Just lay down like a bear. You see me?
No, just outrun him. Outrun him. You'll be fine.
Try.
Yeah.
What's going on, Brian? Man. How you feeling today, brother?
Oh, man, you know, I'm blessed and highly favored, my brother, and I'm super excited today because we got a special guest, somebody who is near and dear to my heart. I know I'll let you do the introductions, but I'm going to have to go ahead and do this one. Is that okay?
That's totally okay. Go for it, brother.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and put her big face.
Hey.
Listen, first of all, this person can sell sand to a beach, can sell a roar to a lion, can sell socks to a giraffe, can sell pig to pork, or pork to pig, however you want to say it. America would be debt-free if this person was in charge in just 2 days, plus tips and interest. If you have a small business and this person works for your small business, it ain't a small business no more. You doing big business things.
There we go.
This is an absolutely amazing person, friend, confidant. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you Monica Allen Moe the Closer.
Hey. It's good. It's good to be on here. Look, let me tell you. First of all, I enjoyed watching just everything before we came on. So I'm in here. I'm locked in over here. I'm like, oh, this is good.
Oh yeah. We got
watching on the screen, like on my phone or whatever, right? But it's another thing. I'm like watching this right in front of me, so I appreciate that, and I definitely appreciate that intro.
Oh man, I'm just telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? You can sell snow. What is it? You can sell. This is hard to say. You can sell slow to a snail.
My grandma used to tell me I can sell the stink out of shit.
Oh, so there you go. I ain't want to get that graphic, but there you go. Oh man. So Mo, I'm glad that you're here, man, because I think that I wanted you to be here to be able to connect with people who are entrepreneurs, who are trying to get, things started, trying to get their businesses up and running, trying to be able to connect with more people, finding funding for their businesses. You are a guru. And we have a lot of business owners that watch the show, man. And I want you to be able to just give, spread a little bit of knowledge like he does. It's very hard looking at you because I'm staring at the thousands and thousands of J's and sneakers directly behind you. Can you please explain the collection that you have and how did you get started with that?
This is the collection. It extends past this wall behind me and up the side of this other wall over here, and upwards of a little over 200 pair of shoes. So I have a good time with it. Yeah, a little over 200 pair. And to some people,
you only have 2 feet.
I got 2 feet. Last time I checked, I got 2 feet. And the crazy part is 9 out of 10, I got on flip flops. So I have on flip flops right now. So.
Oh man!
Not the collector type or anything. I still wear them, but around the crib, I got on flip flops. I don't really wear my sneakers a lot.
Absolutely. How did you get into collecting your sneakers?
I've always been a sneakerhead, but when I started being able to purchase them on my own, especially like working in the mall and stuff like that, for a good part of my sales career, I worked in a mall. And with working in a mall, it was always somebody was looking out for you, and it's because like I looked out for a lot of people, right? I hooked them up with phones and service and chargers and all this kind of stuff. So the first thing they did was, hey, we got your 9.5 over here waiting on you. And I ain't gonna leave them hanging, so I'm gonna go pick it up, And the crazy part is I still have a couple pair of those shoes. So
really?
Like, yeah, I still have a couple pair. Like this pair right here is from 2005, I do believe, 2005. And I have a couple pair that are from a little older than that. So I have some shoes that are around 20 years old.
The fact that you carbon dated your shoes is freakily amazing. Yeah, I got these back in 98. You know what I'm saying? This boy, but that's amazing. That you have that many shoes in that collection. I think we all try to strive to collect something, and I think I have my certain collections that I started, and I had to ask my wife if I can do it because when you together with somebody, you got to be on the budget. So you got to do it sparingly.
You got to ask for permission before you start taking up all that space.
Exactly. So so when you want another pair of shoes, do you tell your partner, "Hey, look, I'm about to get these J's"? Do they ever try to talk you out of it? No.
Here's what you do. So, matter of fact, this is outside in the garage, right? So we've transformed the garage into like my office area. So this is my cave. So if it can fit in here, I can have it. Right.
Okay.
Okay.
But a good rule of thumb, if it fit in here, I can have it. But a good rule of thumb is like when she goes out of town for her business meetings and her business trips, I'll just, I kind of try to like, I've gotten Nike down to where they're like 3 or 4 days for delivery. So about 3 or 4 days before she leaves, then I'll go ahead and order what I got to order. So it's here by the time she gone. So
hey, fellas, pick up game real quick. She dropping game. Listen, we all need to know this.
But here's the trick though, because everybody got the Ring camera, so she can see if they ring the doorbell. So I've already timed it, so I'm looking and I'm making sure I got the app, and I'm like, oh, okay, we 3 stops away, so I'll meet him outside. He ain't even got to ring the doorbell. I meet him outside.
What? Hold on, let me take this down. Meet outside. Okay.
Don't ring
all
the
right,
doorbell.
cool. Yeah, I just needed to know that.
You said Nike is 3 to 4 days.
Three, four business days.
Oh, all right.
Absolutely. Well, listen, man, for anyone who doesn't know who Moe the Closer is, please just give a brief introduction of yourself, man. Where you from, and how did you get started to the place that you are now?
Okay, perfect. I'm a country girl from North Carolina. So I'm from Durham, North Carolina, and I have been in Bull City. Come on, stand up. We had to go around that. But
Oh,
been in sales and marketing for a little over 20 years now. It seems weird every time I say a little over 20 years, right? It's been a long time. But been in sales and marketing a little over 20 years. And throughout that sales and marketing career, it's always been either direct sales or some type of financial money or product sales. And then over the last 10 years, I have worked with clients who had issues with like their student loans. We graduated from student loans and went into credit repair, from credit repair to business funding. So all those kind of like stair stepped up to where we are now. So now when someone asks me what I do, I say I sell money, right? I sell money. I connect small businesses with the funding that they need to go to the next level. So whether they're a startup or they've been established for years, a lot of our clients have been in business 10, 15 years. They just need capital to get to the next level in their business. So we help them out with that. If they're not ready, we help them out with credit repair to make sure that they are where they need to be. But mainly, we're a financial wellness platform. So we've created what's called the cash flow department. In the cash flow department, we teach everything from entrepreneurship up until how to do your own funding. So we've done a really good job of cultivating that community and cultivating free education for people around just like funding and finance, because 9 times out of 10, nobody told us about money. I learned the hard way. So, so that's what we
right.
do.
All right, cool. You know, my first introduction to credit cards was when I was in college, and I was a freshman, sophomore in college. I knew nothing about credit. I knew nothing about credit cards, but I do remember that these companies will come around to the college campuses and they will have you sign something, but like you can get a free Subway sandwich if you sign up for this credit card that has a high 50% interest rate. And I was like, man, that sub do sell good right now, Jack. You know what I'm saying? And there's so many people in Durham that messed up their credit over sub sandwiches and pizzas. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
extra piece of chicken.
Yeah, the extra piece of chicken. So let's get started with just a basic question. What is good credit?
So good credit, a long time ago, people would say good credit would be like having a 700 credit score. That's not even the case anymore, right? Like you can have a 700 credit score and you didn't even build your credit. Like you can have a 700 credit score if you just become an authorized user on a couple of my credit cards, right? You have a halfway decent profile and I get you as an authorized user, you can get a 700 like that. But what banks are looking for now is they're looking for authentically built credit, you to have primary accounts on there. So they're looking for at least a 680 to 700 credit score. They're looking for 4 to 5 years of credit history. They're making sure that you don't have any derogatories on there. So no late payments, no collections, charge-offs, child support, all that kind of crazy stuff. But they're also making sure that you have access to credit now, right? You want to see at least 2 cards with $2,500 limit on there. So you're responsible for at least about $5,000. And they want to make sure you're managing that correctly by maintaining under 30% utilization. You can get away with 40, 45 sometimes, but just maintaining under 30% utilization so that it doesn't impact your credit score in a negative way. So that's what good credit is. It's like your credit. I just did a module on this earlier today. Your credit is your street name, right? How can people trust you? Can people think you're going to, like, do people think you're going to do what you say you're going to do, right? Can they give you their money and trust that you're going to pay it back? That's what your credit is, right? That's your name in the streets. So, Scarface, all I got is my balls and my word. Well, right now, all we got is our credit. That's how people recognize if they're going to be able to deal with us, whether it be insurance, whether it's someone turning on your lights, your car insurance. Now, a lot of places require a credit check just to get a job. So as hard as jobs are to come by, it's like you can't really afford to not have good credit, especially in this economy.
Absolutely. In this economy, what right now, what is king? Is it credit or is it cash?
Definitely credit. Definitely credit. Because as long as you got credit, you'll always be able to get all the cash you need. Because I can liquidate a credit card, right? I can go somewhere and I can purchase something on credit. There's not going to be a whole lot of places that's going to stop me from swiping my credit card. And if it came to the point where I needed cash, I can get my cash liquidated in the next 24, 36 hours. So it's not even a matter of, do I have access to money? I can get access to 100K in credit cards faster than I can get access to $100,000. Like, I'm gonna use this for example. You ever tried to save $10,000?
Oh yeah.
I tried to save $10.
It's the longest process ever. Like, I'm gonna put, $20 here over to the side. I'm gonna put $100 over here to the side. Versus just getting your credit together, you can walk in a bank and you can start talking to them. Like, instead of asking, what can I do to gain your business? Then you start being on the other end of that. Like, hey, I need $10,000. Give me $10,000. So when you have good credit, you get to legally rob the bank. Because most of that money is 0% interest if you're doing it right. And if you have that great credit profile.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Mo, I need $10,000. Give me $10,000.
Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead and get your credit together. I'll walk you into the bank myself. Get you, that's it.
Grab your shoes.
You ain't even got to use none of the running skills you got.
I got the keys. I'm on
got
the
the keys.
You ain't even got to use your running skills.
So in terms of businesses, what would be the best steps for someone that's getting ready to start their business and trying to build something, like you said, like a good credit base for other banks to say, I'm gonna give you this money?
So the first thing is, like, even starting your LLC, make sure you're paying attention to the name of your company, because there are these things called your NAICS code. This is how banks determine if they're going to lend to you or not, and whether you're determined as a risky business. So, for instance, businesses like cannabis, trucking, banking, funding, all of that, those are risky business names. Real estate investors, all of that is risky. So you don't want anything like that in your name. So you would want the name of your company to be like Roosevelt Consulting or Roosevelt Enterprises, something that's going to be really general, where if they look at it, they can't determine what it is exactly. Now, of course, you're going to want to tell them, like, it's consulting, it's marketing, it's advertising, it's, you're in management, you're in whatever, food services, whatever it is that you're in. But you want to be careful about talking about the risky businesses, because if you're in a risky business, it's going to be really hard for you to get funding. Now, the next step after you pick a name for this is to go online and get your EIN. Do y'all mind if I tell anybody how to open a business?
Go ahead. That's what we want.
Perfect. Perfect. So you're going to go online and you're going to get an EIN. You're going to make sure you go to the government site. You should not be paying anybody for an EIN unless you're choosing to activate that as a service. Like, we sell them all day for $50, but it takes you 5 minutes to do it. Then you set up a LLC with your Secretary of State. The Secretary of State is going to give you all the documentation that you need, your operating agreement. All of that is free to set up. You only pay your state's fee. The fees can vary from state to state. Some states are higher than others. So pay attention to those states. Also pay attention, if privacy is important to you, pay attention to the privacy of those states. Like, you can, if you're in a state where you can just look up the business and it has all of your information there. So since there is a possibility where someone can look up your business and look up all your information, you want to make sure that you have something in place, like a virtual address. A virtual address is also really helpful when you're going to the bank, because it doesn't look like you in your mama basement. So if we're on 123 Main Street and trying to open a business, they're going to be like, Now, it's become a little more common since COVID, where a bunch of home-based businesses have started. But just go ahead and set things up the proper way to start with. So you've got your business set up. So we got an LLC. We've got our credit together. We've got a good name. We went to Secretary of State. We got that taken care of. Then we want to open up a business bank account. Once we open up that business bank account, then we're going to make sure we're starting to deposit money and do our business transactions inside of that business bank account. You're going to want to make sure you have a professional email. knowyourbusiness@gmail.com. It needs to be something like info@rooseveltconsulting.com. So just making sure you're setting yourself up for success, so that when businesses are looking at you on paper, then they're going to be able to see that you invested into yourself.
What about the Duns and Bradstreet?
You need those. You need those as well. When you're building your business credit later on down the line, There is business credit under a personal guarantee, and there's business credit under a non-personal guarantee. So we have a team. I handle the personal guarantee side. My business partner handles the non-personal guarantee side. The non-personal guarantee side is where we actually build you out a profile that doesn't have anything to do with your personal information. So your business stands on its own. But before your business stands on its own, you need to already have it established. So yes, you do need your Duns and Bradstreet number, but that's going to come later on down the line. But you don't need that. You can access a couple $100,000 before you ever need a Dun and Bradstreet number.
I think when I first started, I was like, I want to make sure I do everything the right way. So I went ahead and applied for my Dun and Brads a couple times.
Yeah.
It's not always an easy process. Really, a lot of your stuff has to match up with what you put for the IRS. So you have to pay attention how you put your stuff down for the IRS, because when it comes to Dun and Brad, or you're trying to do something on sam.gov, it has to match up exactly, or you will not get through.
You ain't getting nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
I actually advise like keeping a Google document and putting exactly how you place your business in there. What's the exact address of your business? What's the exact phone number that you're using for your business? And you can start out with like a Google Voice number, but don't put your personal number, because then you get all kinds of weirdos calling and asking you if you want to be in a yellow book. So yeah, just like make sure you keep some type of document saying, hey, I spelled my business name this way, or I put that it was on this street. Just make sure you're documenting all that kind of stuff, because you're going to need it later.
Absolutely. You mentioned something a little bit earlier about having your money make money for you. Can you break that down of what that means, and how can just everyday people have their money make money for them?
Absolutely. So everyone is good at something, right? No matter it's you guys know an expert. That just means I only know more than the next person. So where we are right now, somebody else wished they were right here. But at some point, you wish you were where you are right now. So think about like where we were 10 years ago. Then 10 years ago, then we were thinking about where we wanted to go, where we wanted to be, what we wanted to be happening, right? We're what we prayed for essentially right now. At some point, you're going to be able to come up with an ebook, a worksheet, a podcast, a course to teach someone how to do exactly what you're doing now. And the thing about that is that if you're using business funding to fund those ventures and you're making that money back, all of that money is free money to you if your credit profile is set up correctly. So let's take, for instance, if you've got a course out. So you have a course, you only have to make the course one time, right? You can run ads. You can take some of your business funding that you've gotten access to 0% interest for the next 24 months. You got 24 months to make that money back. So you just got to say $50,000 from the bank. Well, you can take some money, run ads to this course on how to begin a podcast. You already made the course. You already have the platform for it. So because you already did all the work, you're just running traffic to your offer. It doesn't require anything for you because the traffic is going to happen anyway. So as long as you got an offer that's running 24/7, then it's going straight to the link to purchase your course. That's passive income for you. You don't have to do anything else for that. Yeah.
Did you hear what she said?
You don't have to do nothing else for that. And then I'm gonna give you a hack right here. Like if you're good at something, let's say, and I'm just using podcasts because we're on right now, but you can go to ChatGPT and ask it to write you a detailed ebook on how to start a podcast about cooking. What social media should you put up? Come up with an entire marketing strategy. And ChatGPT will be your marketing campaign manager. You just ask it the right questions. That's free. Or if you want to get fancy, pay $20 a month for ChatGPT, and it's going to go overboard for you, right? Give you more information than you need. So just utilizing tools like AI, utilizing tools like Canva to be able, utilizing tools like I use Go High Level as a CRM. And there are several other CRMs that are out there that are just as good. That's just the one I chose. that'll allow you to host those products on there. So all you have to do is run traffic to that offer. That's it. And a CRM is a customer relationship manager. So this is how you keep track of everybody.
See, that's how you know she good. She using acronyms.
Yeah. I'm sitting here like CRM.
Yes. CRM with SPW. Oh man.
Let me ask you a question. So
Sure.
in terms of businesses that may have falling under, how difficult or what would be the steps for them to kind of come back to it? Like, we have some businesses, they make some bad business decisions. They're going through some kind of debt their first year or two in, and they want to get back on track. How difficult is it for them to get back on track?
Okay. I'm gonna approach this from an uncommon perspective. You're allowed to open up 365 businesses per year. You can open up a business every single day. So if one doesn't work, I mean, just like look at our leadership, right? How many times has our leadership filed bankruptcy? So,
You gotta yeah.
Like, just start over. Yeah. If it's that bad, like business right now, you don't have to like say, hey, let me thug it out. Let me get through the trenches. Let me just wear the shame on my name. Okay, well, you messed up one, right? Now you know when you start the next one, you're not gonna do that again. Right? So just start another one. And yes, there is gonna be some comeback, but just fix what you can and move on. But don't let your new ideas get stale because you're steady trying to clean up old messes. Because by the time you finish cleaning up that old stuff, like especially if you couldn't afford to dig yourself out of the hole then, right? By the time you get done cleaning up that old stuff, you could have already started something new over here and been just dealing with this over here on the side.
Now, how does that work with the state in terms of registering yourself with an LLC and as a business, if it's still linked to your social security number or your name?
They'll let you open up another one. You get to open up as many as you want to. Yeah.
Yeah, Roosevelt, you can open up another OnlyFans if you want to. So, that's what you're asking for. He's trying to close down his own OnlyFans.
Yeah, you ain't got to close down your OnlyFans now.
I'm going to go from OnlyFans to every fan.
Yeah, you ain't got to close it down. Yeah. I mean, it's like you take the best lessons from what wealthy people are doing. Wealthy people are leveraging debt and they're starting businesses, right? And they're buying real estate. So leveraging debt, starting businesses, buying real estate. And in all of those, you are able to say, you know what, this ain't working out for me. Let me file bankruptcy. And I'm not saying like use that as a fanatic strategy, but it's there for a safety net. So you don't have to struggle through anything. Like, yes, it's going to be hard building your business. But if something just happens so detrimental that you're like, you know what, I'm going to have a real hard time getting myself out of this mess. And I don't even want to deal with that. I know what I did wrong. I've learned from that. And I know how to start it over. Start it over fresh. Just start another one. It's fine.
Let me ask you a question for people who are trying to get some things back on track with their life. What's the best way to develop or create a financial strategy for yourself or for your household? Write
everything down. My partner and I, we have finance meetings every 2 weeks. And those finance meetings, as a matter of fact, we had one this morning. It's where we're going over household bills. We're talking about the money that we're spending. We're writing down everything because what's trackable is scalable. So until you know exactly how much money you're making and how much money you're spending, you're not going to be able to feel like you're making more money because we're conditioned to, if we make more money, instead of ordering the burger off the menu, we ordering the steak. So we don't really feel that we're making more money because the same amount of money is in the house. So I'm making $20 more a week. And that $20 more a week, if I just ate it up at a restaurant, that it didn't come in the house. So if you're tracking everything, every single dollar that's spent, Every type of variance that you can think about, any type of variable bill, like the light bill might be different from month to month, the water bill might be different from month to month. Track all of that, write it down. The average person is missing 22% of their income because they're not tracking it. 22%. That's a lot of money. So just think about how much money you waste from day to day. Like, oh, I'm running the store real quick. I'm gonna buy a pack of gum. Well, plan for that or write it down. But we're missing money because we're not tracking it. We just don't know where it is. So just start. I encourage the person who is trying to get their finances together to, the first thing is write down all your money, right? Write down what you got coming in, write down what you got going out, write down all your expenses, and write down a plan. If you're going to strategize for cutting down your debt, there are two methods that you can use. There's one called snowball. There's one called avalanche. The snowball method is where you list all your debts down. You start with a small one and you work your way up. So if the small one is $300, you pay off that $300. Well, the next one, if the next one is $600, it's going to take you 2 months to pay off that one. So now you got those two knocked out. The avalanche strategy is where you're listing everything from highest interest to lowest interest, and you're tackling the highest interest first. So the snowball method is going to get it done the fastest. The avalanche method is going to save you the most money. So you got to figure out which one of those are going to be most important to you. But just picking a strategy and sticking with it, that's the one that's going to work.
Oh, because this is the Best Damn Wrestling podcast, and we have wrestlers on here every now and then, what would be the best strategy for professional wrestlers to be able to make their make themselves a business? You know, Jay-Z said, "I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman."
Mm-hmm.
How does that work for a professional wrestler who is an independent contractor for different companies around the U.S. to turn around and say, you know what, I'm not just a businessman, I'm a business?
Okay. That's a great question. So the first thing to do is to change your name to a LLC, or put your name in an LLC. So if your name is Renegade Man, then you're going to be Renegade Man LLC on paper. So people aren't paying Brian Renegade, they're paying Renegade Man LLC. Therefore, you're taxed differently. So you're able to write off your traveling as expenses. You're able to write off your management expenses. You're able to write off, if you need a uniform, you're able to write that off. Every single thing that has to do with your business. If you're getting a haircut for your business, you get to write that off. If you're having to go out and eat or holding meetings, you're getting to write that off. If you're having to buy tickets for family members, you're getting to write that off. There's so many different benefits that you have if you're an independent contractor and operating as an LLC than if you're just using your social security number. So take advantage of being Renegade Man LLC versus them just paying Brian.
Right.
That would be the first step.
They can pay either one just to be fair.
Is it better to go cash, or is it better to have something that's trackable, like a Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, or whatever?
Trackable. Don't use Cash App. Don't use PayPal. Don't use what'd you say?
Venmo.
Don't use cash, because all of it needs to be trackable to whoever is going to do your taxes, right? So what I recommend is, when you set up your LLC, set up a business bank account. Now, until you can get a business credit card, use your business debit card. But as soon as you can qualify for a business credit card, and as a matter of fact, when you open up your bank account, if you don't have the credit for a business credit card yet, open up a secured card. Put like $500 on that secured card, and then use it responsibly. Like, use it so it's not going over 30% utilization, right? And then when you need a little more within the next 3 to 6 months, they'll unsecure that card for you, and then they'll up that limit. That way you'll be able to use that. You can take advantage of using rewards that way. But there's no rewards for using cash. There's no rewards for using Venmo or Cash App or none of that. And none of that is trackable. Those aren't real banks. So when you're talking about like saving, getting the most bang for your buck, keep everything that you can on a credit card as long as you can afford the credit card payment. So if it's an expense, like if wrestler needs new boots, and you can't really afford them, don't put them on that credit card, right? If you know you're getting paid on Friday, okay, you got to have them. You got to hold in the boots. You got to do what you got to do so you can work. Fine. But there are 2 dates to be aware of when you have a credit card, your statement date and your bill date. You want to make sure your bill is as low as possible by the statement date, because that's the date that the credit bureau is going to report. Yeah, so don't use all that other stuff. Throw the debit card away as soon as you can.
Man, I gotta make a credit card payment right now. Let's talk about like community wealth, right? Okay. And you hear this thing where we talk about the black dollar or the brown dollar and how it circulates throughout the community, right? What would be a strategy that you would impose to make sure that the black dollar circulates within our community?
The first strategy is it's like buying black, right? And it's not always, I'm gonna be clear, right? And I've gotten on some people about this. When the opportunity to buy black presents itself, a lot of times we've taken advantage of that and said, well, we're gonna make our shirt $100. I'm all for you doing that. You know why? Because people pay $100 for Louis Vuitton, for Gucci, for Nike, for whatever else, right? So let's support each other. One thing that we should do a lot better of a job at is not being afraid to drop the money on our friend's brand versus someone in the store's brand. And just really encouraging our friends and people who are advocates of the brown dollar to start putting your products out there, putting your services out there so that more people can support you. So our way of helping that dollar circulate is let's get you more funding so that you can afford the marketing to push your products to the market. Because if you can't afford the marketing and you can't really afford a platform to put this stuff on, then nobody's ever going to see it. Or if you need training for social media on how to, like, if I didn't know that you had a wrestling podcast because you have it on social media, I wouldn't know, right? We're not in the same place anymore. So I wouldn't know. So it's important that we utilize all of the tools. And sometimes we need a little dollar behind that, right? We need a few dollars behind that. We need, like, I spend almost $200 a day on marketing. And that's just so we can get our name out there. But not as many people would know who we are if we didn't have that marketing. So it's important that my support be to get money in the hands of Black and brown folks so that they can push their products out.
Absolutely. I'm going to put you on the spot. What was the last black product that you bought?
This morning, coffee.
Oh, okay. Was it Ethiopian coffee?
Yeah, there's a spot in Charlotte. I actually drive 20 minutes out of my way, right? It's called Archive. Okay. And they got this coffee called Foxy Brown. That thing got me in a chokehold. Like, oh man. It's got brown sugar and everything, and it's good. It's good.
Listen, my bad for trying to test your blackness. I wasn't trying to. I was trying to see. Usually when people are like, "Yeah, buy black," I'm like, "What was the last black product you bought?" So I appreciate that.
Man, we black around here. Even my cat eat fried chicken. So
that's it. Like, why is that cat mouth so greasy?
Yeah, my cat eat fried chicken.
Oh man. So let me ask you another question. With entrepreneurship now, it's at an all-time high. I think a lot of people are trying to get into business, but a lot of people don't know the hardships that you have to go through while in business, right? Mm-hmm. What's a good strategy to kind of navigate the windfalls of entrepreneurship?
Know your numbers. Like, first things first, know your numbers. When I quit my job a little over a year ago, and like, people thought I was crazy because I was leaving a 6-figure job where I got to do pretty much whatever I wanted to do. The only problem was they required me to come every day. Like, I had to go into work every day. Loved what I did, loved who I worked for, loved what I was doing. But I didn't want to go to work every day. That didn't make sense to me, right? Like, I can't be all over the world like that. So there are an influx of folk who have decided to reclaim their time. And I'm so happy for them, right? I'm so happy that they get a chance to spend time with their family, spend time with their friends, and realizing that that is more important than how much money they're making. But we can't ever forget the money is still important, right? So the most important thing you can do as a brand new business owner is know your numbers, know how much money you're spending, know how much money you need to stay afloat, know if you actually do need to quit your job yet, right? I didn't quit my job until it cost me too much to go to work. So I was missing appointments for my credit repair company. And I was like, I'm gonna make more money off these appointments than I would if I went to work. So that's when I quit my job. But also remember, your job is your first investor into your business. So if you're still at work and you can make it work for as long as you can, stay there until it costs you too much to go, right? Whether it be time, whether it be money, whatever it is, but stay there. But the most important thing is just knowing how much money you got coming in, how much money you need. Because if you're used to living off, $7,000 a month and you don't have any savings or you don't have any credit or you don't have anything to fall back on and you got a half-ass plan, then it ain't gonna go well, right? You got to know your numbers though. So business owner, new business owner, make sure you know your numbers.
Absolutely. Well, listen, you've always been a hustler. I remember, I'm telling you, she used to slang them phones, boy. She had a little phone clip on the hip, you know what I'm saying, a little earpiece in, you know what I'm saying, with the business cards ready, Jack.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And she knew how to draw people. And I remember we was in the middle of the mall selling. And I was like, man, this is very difficult. At first, I was discouraged about it, but I learned so much by doing that because you see so many different types of people walking by.
Mm-hmm.
And the main goal is to get somebody's attention for them to come over there and talk to you, to let you know that, hey, I got a cell phone problem,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
No matter what it is, if they wanted to upgrade, whatever the case may be. But the
Mm-hmm.
main thing was instantly grabbing that person's attention
Mm-hmm.
as soon as they came within your vicinity. And I think as a marketing strategist, I've been doing that for a couple of years now. And it's the same concept. You know what I'm saying? It's just look a little bit different.
Yeah.
With all the technology that's out with AI and all this stuff, like, what's the best way to market your business?
Being you. So whatever feels the best to you. At that time, like honestly, that was probably the best job for the experience that we could ever have. And it's because we were in the prime location for people to tell us no. Nobody came in there looking for a phone, right?
Right.
Especially not right where we were. It was always a bad position in the mall. Like we next to something that don't nobody want. So I think it was like handling a pregnancy shop over on the other side of us or something. So nobody's coming in there for that, right? But it was our job to draw attention. So the way that we drew attention was we were authentically ourselves. The difference between then and now is now with so much technology, we can put a little umph behind us. So my primary marketing source is Instagram. So I get to be exactly who I am on Instagram, except for the Instagram and AI and content, all of that pushes it out just a little bit further. So we get to be who we are. And I always tell people, like, if you're not the type of person to say, hey, I'm going to do long form content, then don't do long form content, right? If you like short form content, do short form content. Whatever it is that you like doing, you do exactly that. If you like taking pictures of yourself, if you like selfies, then you figure out how to make that work for you. If you want to brand yourself, put yourself on a t-shirt, you do that too, right? There are so many ways that you can market yourself, but by far, the number one has got to be social media, because you get to see exactly who you are, because people don't do business with businesses anymore. They do business with other people. So, and even in the business to business, like I talk to a lot of business owners because that's who we service as small business owners. But even then, we take the business out of it and we're talking to the person, because they still want to see that we care about them.
Oh, I've heard, and you may be able to clear this up for me.
Okay.
Whereas some businesses or individuals who own a business, they take a lot of family members and they put them as employees, and to be able to what's the word I'm looking for? When you put them on their taxes, right?
Yeah.
Kind of write them off. What'd you say, Brian?
Don't do it. I'm sorry.
clear up the whole basis behind that for everyone.
For tax benefits, you can put your kids on your taxes. And check with your CPA or your local state and find out how much you can deduct. I think it's like $1,200 a month. Don't quote me on that. I haven't looked at that because I don't have any kids. So if the shoes can't work for me, then But you can pay your kids a salary, and that's tax deductible. So yes, you can add people to your payroll for purposes of tax deductions, but I'm gonna tell you something, man. There's so many easier ways to get tax deductions than adding folks and family and friends and all that stuff. Because you don't want that headache, and a lot of times they don't want to deal with you either. So let's just keep the people out of it, and we utilize like more services. If you need to give away some money, go get coaching or something like that, and your coaching is tax deductible. Go get even the way that our business is set up, even our success fee that we charge our clients for getting them funding is tax deductible. So it's like it doesn't really cost you anything to get funding. And they like that, right? So just like if it ain't the kids, then if it's somebody who can give you some lip back, leave them off your taxes.
Yeah, you don't want nobody talking to me.
Now, speaking of kids, let's say, because most women have their kids as their dependents on their taxes. Mm-hmm. And I say if there's a man who's not with the mom mm-hmm. and he has a business and he wants to put the kids on his taxes as an employee, how does that work with the two narratives in terms of who's claiming the kids for whatever reason?
I ain't even gonna answer that because I don't know that one. I
was about to say a lie, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it, but I think it's two different ones. You have personal taxes and business taxes.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And so if you list that person as an employee, then technically they're an employee of the business. The child is not attached to that. You know what I'm saying?
Because also the rules just changed where it's like the years alternate for who's going to be able to claim that child. So that's changed up a little bit too. But they are two separate things. Wait.
Repeat that. What did you just say?
Yeah, the rules. The rules change where it's like you alternate the years. So no matter what, you're alternating the years of who can claim that kid. Yeah. So check with your taxes. A few laws changed on that. I went into effect in January.
Somebody been eating good, and I'm over
here. So I gotta make a phone call real quick. Check this. So you have been giving game on Instagram, man. And you have some great content, and this is so as soon as you look at it grabs your attention, and it makes you sit there and listen to what you're saying. How long did it take you to find your voice, your media voice, right? Where you felt comfortable being in front of the camera, giving advice on stuff that you know, because, you could call yourself an expert, but then somebody that don't know, you be like, she don't know that until you saw talking, you know what I'm saying? So how long did it take you to find your voice, where you felt comfortable just being you?
I've always been confident. So it's like it came natural for me to be able to share it online. It's like, oh, more people get to hear me. Oh, good. More people get to hear me, and I look at it as a plus. I've had my voice for years, even before getting on social media, before social media was a thing. I remember even having my voice inside of selling those cell phones. I had my voice then. I've always known I was different. And not only because I look different, but it's because I am different, right? And not necessarily different as in I'm better, but I know I'm different. I know I'm stand out. I know I'm a stand out. I'm 6 feet tall and I'm big. So, and I'm masculine presenting. So, but by default, someone is always going to give me a second look. So, because someone is going to give me that second look, I've always used that attention and said, okay, let me pick what I want you to do with that attention. So then it was like nothing changed but the product, So at that point, it was like the cell phones. I know you're going to look at me. So while you're looking at me, hey, you see my new phone? And it's, hey, look, what kind of phone do you have? Hey, my phone is better than yours. Whatever it was at the time to grab that attention. So now it's my hook line is, so if I'm talking about business funding, are you having problems with getting your business funded? Watch this. And they're going to watch because I just said, watch this. My voice already commands you to watch this. So I've just taken all of what I am, all of what I embody, all of what I look like, and let it come out of my mouth. So, like, finding my voice, I've always had it, but my best advice to someone who's trying to find their voice, practice. When you figure out that the people who are watching you put their draws on the same way that you do, it's a different type of mentality. It's like, they're just people. What they gonna do? They're just people. So it's all good, So just practice. Get in, send a video to yourself, watch your content. Like, I left my old content up, So my old content, if you go back years ago, I still got a picture on my IG, I do believe, where I took at the mall. I left it up for the fact that I wanted people to see my content used to suck, right? But the best piece of content is the one you put up. The worst piece of content is the one you have and don't put up. So put the content out there, and little by little, you're going to get good. But don't critique it. Just go for it. It's okay. Somebody's going to resonate with you. Somebody's going to like it, and somebody's going to rock with it, right? But everything ain't for everybody, and you don't want to be for everybody anyway.
Boom. Dropping jewels, boy. You dropping bombs. Well, since you're a wealth strategist, right? Is there such thing as a work-life balance? I never heard that term until I came out here on the West Coast. I'm out here in Phoenix, and a lot of the people who are in the corporate section, they talk about this work-life balance thing. I had no idea what it was because, being from North Carolina is like you just work. That's it. Everything else comes after work. Yeah, but is there such thing as a work-life balance?
I don't necessarily subscribe to work-life balance, but I do subscribe to work and life being in sync. So there are days where all I'm doing is working, but there are also days where all I'm doing is laying on the beach with my partner, right? So there's not necessarily a work-life balance, but there's a sync that has happened between work and life. Because different times in your life are going to call for some different versions of you, right? Like now, there were times where I was in my soft era where I'm like, you know what? I did good. I ain't got to do nothing. I'm chilling this week. But the next week, all hell might break loose on a Monday, and I got to get to it. So it ain't no work-life balance around here. It's just work-life, where work-life have learned how to be in sync.
That's it. Learn how to be in sync. That's a good one.
Yeah. What about y'all? Like work-life balance is a thing out there?
I guess it can be if you design it so, but if you are an entrepreneur or a business owner, it really ain't no work-life balance. It's all work, and you trying to find the balance. Don't get it twisted. If you are, I know more business owners, even whether they're making money or not. I know more business owners that struggle with finding that balance between having a company that you're running and your personal time, and they struggle a lot of the times trying to find that. So a lot of people will look at a business owner on Instagram or Facebook and be like, oh man, they got it all. But you don't know the hours that they put in to doing that. Even when you go out, you land on the beach with your partner, like you had to work to get up to that point. You know what I'm saying? You had to earn it. You know what I'm saying? And this as a small business owner, sometimes you feel like you don't earn that you don't deserve certain things.
That's right. That's
Even
right.
though you know you deserve everything, you feel
Yeah.
like, oh man, I can't. Man, I
Not
don't
yet.
deserve to take a break. I can't take a break right now. Oh man,
Yeah.
I can't pay myself extra right now. I gotta make
Not
sure
yet.
all my staff is paid. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Oh man, I can't eat that steak right now. I'm gonna have to eat
Yeah.
these canned tunas right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It be like that. Yeah. And you said something important, like your partnerships and your family structure matters as well, because we couldn't do what we do now if we didn't have supportive partners. So, like, I've been in situations where the person I was in relationship with, they don't understand why I'm up to 2, 3 in the morning. Right. They don't understand why some nights it's like I'm not sleeping, but other days it's like I got all day for this, So
Right.
it's hard to explain, right? But once you get somebody who completely understands that, a lot of times they embody a lot of that on their own. So a lot of times they're an entrepreneur, or they have that entrepreneur spirit where they understand that sometimes you can't just do what is expected of you. You have to do what is required, like what needs to be done. So if it needs to be done, then somebody's got to do it. And they
Right.
understand that you're the person that has to do it as the business owner.
What would be your ideal of the best verbiage to utilize when you walk into a bank and you're telling them you want X amount of money to do whatever you need to do with it?
Oh, this is my favorite. So when you don't have good credit, you step different than when you have good credit. Like when you got good credit, you got to talk to me differently. Like you can't be talking to me any kind of way because I got good credit, right?
Oh yeah.
But when you don't have good credit, you're like, whoo, Lord, I'm gonna go in here. I hope and pray they decide they're gonna give me some money. But when you have borderline credit, when you don't have not so great credit, you're going in and you're saying, hey, Mr. Banker, something just happened in my life. I'm trying to start up my business. I want to leave my job and blah, blah, blah. My dog got toenails now, whatever. Like, what can you, how can I be able to work with y'all? And like, do I qualify to get $50,000? But when you have good credit, you go in and you say, hey, banker, you don't even say Mr. Hey, banker, what is it that you're going to offer me that the bank down the street can't offer me? You get to say, what can you do for me? Not what can I do to earn your business, right? Because the bank needs you at that point. You got good credit. You're in a prime position to borrow. So they want to give you as much money as possible. Banks can't function if they're not giving away money. So the moment that we figure out that the bank needs us and we position ourselves to be desired by the bank, it's like being desired by that partner that you always wanted. Well, they don't want you if you ain't got good credit. So, but the partner you've always desired, they want you. You're prime for them. You're perfect for them. I've been waiting on you my whole entire life, right? They're going to give you the bag. But you're going in when you have good credit, you can then position yourself, say, hey, here are my documents. What are you going to do for me that the bank down the street is not going to do? Because I really want to do business. I thought I wanted to do business with them, but convince me to do business with you. I'll give you my business.
And that's a good segue to my next question. How do you differentiate between which bank you want to deal with? Like, it's a lot of, like in North Carolina, we have the credit unions, and then you have the corporate banks like the BB&Ts and the Bank of Americas and the TDs. Which ones? How do you differentiate between which one is going to be the better choice for you and your business?
The best bank for you is the bank you've always banked with. The best bank for you is the bank you've always banked with. And then you go to surrounding banks. So start with surrounding credit unions. Start with credit. I'm going to tell you, like, some of my favorite credit unions are the Latino credit unions because they pop up everywhere and it's low competition. So they are really trying to compete with bigger banks to be able to loan more money. So if you have a premium credit score, you go into a smaller bank, then it's like, hey, look, I would do business with them, but I want to do business with you. What can we do? And then you partner with them and they're more than happy to give you money because they know they're competing with the Wells Fargo. They know they're competing with the Bank of America, the Chase Bank, the TD Bank. They know they're competing with the big guys, but they're happy that you decided to do business with them. So start with whoever you bank with, then go to smaller credit unions around you, and then expand to those bigger businesses.
Yeah, I remember when I started my first business, my credit score was pretty decent. I had on loose draws, boy. I felt like I was somebody important. You know, walking there swinging. When your credit score bad, your draws get tight. I don't know what it is. They get tight. You be like, yeah, let me go ahead and put on these briefs, tighty whities real quick.
They do.
Just in case I need something to hold everything in.
Yeah.
1 second, Brian. We got a question from my TikTok from Demetrius. He says, what do you say when you don't have the credit, or do you not try at all until you do?
If you don't have the credit?
Yeah. Then have the credit to go in there, you know, with your you think swinging, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, you know,
get your credit together first so you can step in there correctly. Yeah, get your credit together first. So make sure, like, if you can go to annualcreditreport.com and get you 3 credit reports every month, I think now. Every month now, I think. And get you a credit report. Figure out what you got going on. Figure out what it is that you need to improve on. If you need some help with that, we'll help you with that. So that you can make sure that you go in there with confidence. And what we also do for our clients is we give them our relationship managers. So we actually have proxies who apply on your behalf so that you don't have to be worried about it with it. You don't have to be worried with going in the bank or talking to the lenders or anything like that. They'll handle all that on your behalf. With those relationships, also, those approvals are going to be bigger. So if you go into a bank, you'll probably get, I'm just using this as an example, you'll get 10,000 versus I'll get 25, 30,000 going into a bank. So it's worth it using a team, but make sure that you just go in there correct. Like, make sure you got your stuff in order before you go in there.
Yeah. If you have a team, right? You just mentioned the team aspect. If you have a team and say you have a business in your name, but you also have secretary or an accountant, somebody who has a financial background, and you are looking to open up something or get funding, but you have a member on your team who has stronger credit, do you go ahead and try to send that team member out, or do you bite that bullet and put it in your name?
Nah, you add that team member to your operating agreement, and then that team member can get funding for the business.
I just gave y'all game. That means if you know somebody that got some bomb ass credit, just put them on your team and have them walk in the bank with you.
Yeah. Tell them to go to the bank. Matter of fact, don't have them walk in the bank with you. Don't be taking your bad credit having self in there. You stay outside in the car. You drive.
we need somebody with some loose draws to go in there.
Yeah. You drive. You don't go inside.
You drive. Yeah. You stay out here. Feed the pigeons.
Yeah. You sit out here. Yeah. You sit out here with the kids.
What advice you would give to veterans? Military veterans, like, what advice would you give to them in terms of pulling their stuff together? Because a lot of them come out of the military screwed up. You know what I'm saying? Some of them come out pretty good. So what advice you would give to them?
So first of all, for all the veterans, thank you for your service. And I advise any veteran possible, whenever there is a spot on an application for you to put that you're a veteran, go ahead and put that you're a veteran there. Make sure that you volunteer that information because you qualify for premium financing. And also make sure you're taking a look at your credit score, right? Same advice for a veteran. Just make sure you're filling out that application a little bit differently. But look at your credit score. See what's been going on while you've been active. And then that way, you know exactly how to apply and what to apply for. So a good bank for veterans is Navy Federal. Navy Federal is a great bank for personal banking. Not so much for business banking because they don't offer any 0% interest products as of right now, but they're great for personal credit building and making sure that you get your personal credit profile strong. Because if you're able to be approved for, a $10,000, $15,000 credit card first shot at Navy Federal, then this means that your business credit approvals are going to be a lot higher, because the credit card game for business and funding is it mirrors your business credit is going to mirror your personal credit to some aspect. So if you have a $10,000 credit card on the business side, on the personal side, then you can expect on the business side when you apply that you're going to get around a $30,000 card. So, but Navy Federal, make sure you're banking with Navy Federal if you are a veteran.
All right. Well, listen, this has been an absolutely great show. Thank you so much for joining us, man. At the end of each show, we love to give a little bit of motivation. And like I said, you've been dropping bombs this whole time. But if you have, matter of fact, if you had to give advice to young Moe starting out, 18, fresh, if you had to give any financial advice to young Moe and all the young Moes of the world,
all right,
what would your final word be to them?
Don't be afraid to start over. Don't be afraid to scrap the plan and start over. Like we were raised in a society that says don't quit. Well, sometimes you need to quit, right? Sometimes you need to stop doing whatever it is you're doing, right? Because if it's not going well, then stop doing it. It doesn't mean that you're quitting. It's okay to start over. It's okay to reinvent yourself. So I would tell young Moe, like, don't be afraid to reinvent yourself. And this time when you reinvent yourself, give the world exactly who you are. Because if you're enjoying whatever it is that you're doing, if you're enjoying making money, how you're making money, then as long, legally, right? We don't be told it now, right? Legally. Yeah. If you're enjoying what you're doing, don't let anybody shame you for that. If you decided you're going to open up a burger stand, be a proud burger stand owner. If you decided that you wanted to sell flip-flops on the corner of the street, be a proud flip-flop corner on the street person. And it's okay. But don't let society think that you got to drive a Lambo, have a 3,000 square foot house, and live on the beach. Don't let society and social media trick you into thinking that this is how a lot of people are living. Because while that's true, I know a lot of your favorite influencers personally, and they're not living how they say they're living. So don't let social media influence you into thinking that you need or you have to have more just to fit in. Like, be your own self. It's okay, right? And everything else is going to fall into line. But also, Mo, pay attention to your money. Pay attention to how much money you have and how much money you don't have, and stop acting like you got a whole lot of money and you don't. So you don't have to be out here fronting for nobody. You ain't got to flex for the gram. Matter of fact, the best parts of your life don't even have to be on Instagram, right? So just like take your time, enjoy the stage that you're in, and just make sure you're staying true to whoever it is that you are. It's all good.
Oh man, I got chills when you said that, Mo. That is a final word from the one and only Moe the Closer. Look, Mo, where can people go to find you or your company if they want to get some more advice, if they want to go ahead and book one of your advisors? Where do people go?
Absolutely. So you can find me. I am Moe the Closer. That's MOE the Closer on all social medias. As a matter of fact, like, shout me out, send me a message and say, hey, I listened to you on the pod. Like, send me a message. Let me know who you are so I can at least acknowledge you. Right. So I always appreciate that. Like I said, I'm a country girl, so I like to connect and talk. But I'm Moe the Closer on all social medias. And then we have a website, which is moethecloser.com. And there is going to take you to our product space. Inside of there is our newest membership group, where I'm really proud of it. We've combined entrepreneurship, credit, and funding into one platform. And we giving it away for free for 7 days. So
hold on, what's that? Hold on, damn it. What was that?
Yeah, moethecloser.com. Yep, moethecloser.com.
Is it the closer or the closer?
The T-H-E.
Okay, Mo. Okay, all right. Just asking, Ebonics. Okay. Yeah, I'm be a part of that group right there.
Get our program in free for 7 days. And inside of that community, your credit repair is free. So we can make sure that you're stepping into the banks correctly. So it's no excuse, right? It's no excuse for our people to not be able to move to the next level.
Wait. Did you just say that the credit repair is free?
Credit repair is free.
Free, like free 99.
Free 99.
If y'all are not jumping on this opportunity to clean up your credit,
yeah,
with this woman right
credit
here,
repair is free. Yeah. So in the inside of the platform, it's free. The platform is free for 7 days, and the credit repair is included once you become a member. So
it don't get no better than that. What more does she have to do? Jesus.
And this is the same credit repair I was selling last year for $1,500. So
man,
to have access to it. Like, we need more education and more knowledge. So we made it really affordable for us to have access to it. So it's not about the money anymore. We're gonna be okay, right? And I'm gonna always make sure I have what I need. And I've been like, I'm definitely highly favored. But I just want to look out for some other folks and say, hey, look, you don't have to have bad credit, because my credit used to be the same size as one of these shoes.
Yeah, so go ahead and get your credit and your life right, man. Go visit Moe the Closer. It's moethecloser.com. And go ahead and sign up for 7 days. You get 7 free days and a free credit report.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
I appreciate you can't get no better than free.
Amazing.
Listen, you are now a member of the Best Damn Crew, so you can come on anytime that you want to. We're going to have some more conversations like this. I would love to have you on to interview some of our guests and just add a little 1-2 that you can. But we love talking about, different things that affect people, right? So we have somebody to come on and talk about life insurance before, and just different things that affect ordinary people. You know what I'm saying? And so I had to have you come on. I was like, I want Moe to come on. She already got like a wrestling name anyway. Moe the Closer. That sounds like a dope ass wrestling name.
It does. I gotta get me some tights.
That's it. You gotta get some tights. Yeah, and a belt. Wear that around the house. I'm telling you. Your lady will be all over you.
So funny story. For my belt, I walk around with my partner's bra around my shoulder. Put the bra on my shoulder. I'm the champion. You giving game. You giving game. I'm gonna go grab one of my wife's bras tonight. Just go grab a bra.
Yeah. I'm gonna just go grab one of my wife's bras and I'm gonna put it on my shoulder, walk around. She's gonna look at me like I'm weird, but it's okay. I learned that from Moe the Closer. You know what I'm saying?
Tag you on IG with mine on, then don't say nothing.
I ain't gonna say nothing. We're just gonna be right beside each other with bra belts. Oh man,
I appreciate you, brother.
Listen, Moe, I got to have you help us close the show, okay?
Yes.
So I'm going to say we will see you next week on the next best. I only want you to say one word, and that one word is damn. Okay? Don't tell your pastor. Don't tell wifey that you cussing. Just say it's between me and you, okay? All right. And everybody that's here, the whole family here. All right. I need one of them good Moe the Closer dams. You ready? All right, let's do it. Beautiful people, Best Damn Nation. We will see you next week on the next Best
Damn
Wrestling Podcast. That damn had so much style and flavor.
Money attached to it.
That had some money attached to it. Let me borrow 13 cents. Let me borrow 13 cents right now.
I'm gonna send you a whole $1, man. I'm gonna send you a whole $1.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's why you need to close them. Oh man. Listen, we gotta have you come back on for sure.
Yes,
for sure.
Look, in 5 seconds, I'm connected with you.
I got you.
Let's do that.
I got you.
All right. And listen, I just wanted to, give you your flowers and let you know that I'm so proud of you and what you're doing, and that you are seen and that you are helping people. And that is a beautiful thing. You have a huge heart and a head of knowledge that can't even stay in the house. You got to put your ass out in the garage.
I appreciate you. And
keep doing what you're doing.
See, like, you using this platform and still having that sense of humor. Because if I remember nothing else, we used to laugh good.
All damn day. I quite often tell this story about Jeff Hardy and how I met Jeff Hardy, and he had bubble guts, and so he came to the middle of the mall trying to ask me where the bathroom was. The bathroom was directly behind the stand, so I had to tell him where it was. I ain't want to go in there with a piece of toilet paper and say, "Can I get your autograph?" I didn't want to be that creep. You know what I'm saying? But that's where I met Jeff Hardy at. When we was working together. Yeah.
Yes, I appreciate it, but it's been good. But I'm down to come back anytime.
Absolutely. We got to have you back on. Moe the Closer, thank you for joining us. I'm gonna go check out everything that you share. I'm gonna share it and retweet it and twixt it, whatever the new acronyms is for send the stuff out. We're gonna share and show you some love, okay?
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Beautiful people, we can't hold you no longer. We bid you adieu.